That callback you're about to run, it started the moment your salesperson wrote up the quote without running a single load calculation. Here's the truth about callbacks and customer complaints that nobody wants to admit. Most of them aren't equipment failures or installation mistakes. They're design failures that were locked in before your crew ever showed up to the job site. I'm going to walk you through exactly how poor system design creates a cascade of problems that cost you money, damage your reputation, and keep your best technicians stuck on callbacks instead of generating revenue. I've been in this industry since I was 16 years old, and I've spent the last several years training contractors across New England and beyond. I've analyzed hundreds of callback situations, and I can tell you right now, the companies with the lowest callback rates aren't the ones with the best installers. They're the ones with the best system design processes. Let me show you why. Think about your typical callback scenario. Customer calls 3 weeks after install. They're not happy. Master bedroom's too cold or the living room's too hot. System's running constantly, but the house never feels comfortable. Energy bill is higher than expected. Equipment's noisy. Pick your complaint. You've heard them all. Your tech shows up, starts troubleshooting. Checks refrigerant charge. It's good. Checks airflow. Seems okay. Checks the thermostat operation. Working fine. Everything's functioning exactly as it should, but the customer still isn't comfortable. So, what does your tech do? Maybe tweaks the thermostat settings, maybe adjusts some dampers if they exist, maybe throws their hands up and says, it's just how your house is. The customer is now frustrated. You spent 2 hours of technician time plus truck costs on a callback that didn't solve anything. Your tech is frustrated because they can't find anything wrong, and nobody's talking about the real problem. The system was never properly designed in the first place. Here's what actually happened on that job. Your salesperson showed up, measured the house, maybe looked at the old equipment, and quoted based on the square footage or some rule of thumb they learned years ago. No manual J-Calc, no duck eval, just a quick equipment selection and a price. The customer signed. The install crew showed up, did a professional install of equipment that was probably oversized, connected to ductwork that was never evaluated, and created a system that was doomed to fail from the beginning. Let me break down exactly how poor system design creates specific types of callbacks, because when you understand the mechanisms, you can prevent them. First, oversized equipment. This is probably the most common design error in residential HVAC. The salesperson uses a square footage multiplier, adds some safety factor because they don't want callbacks, right? And quotes a system that's 30 to 50% larger than the actual load. Seems safe, right? Bigger's better? Yeah, wrong. Oversized AC systems, short cycle. They run for 3 or 4 minutes, satisfy the thermostat, shut off, then start up again maybe max 10 minutes later. During those short run times, they're not removing humidity effectively. So you get a house that's cold but clammy. The customer complains about comfort. They say the house feels muggy or damp. Your tech shows up, checks everything, finds the system is cooling fine, but can't fix the humidity problem because it's baked into the design. Oversized heating systems create temperature swings. They blast heat into the space, overshoot the set point, and then shut down until the temperature drops again. Rooms feel too hot and then too cold. The customer complains about uneven temperatures or constant temperature fluctuations. Again, your tech can't fix this because the equipment is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just the wrong size. And here's the kicker. That oversized equipment costs you more up front. You paid more for larger equipment that creates worse performance. You lost money twice on the initial sale and the callbacks. Second problem, poor duct design. Most contractors inherit existing ductwork and just assume it's adequate. Or they make modifications without actually calculating airflow requirements. This creates multiple callback scenarios. Undersized returns restrict airflow. Your equipment can't move enough air across the coil. In cooling mode, the coil ices up. Customer calls because the system isn't cooling. Your tech shows up, finds the frozen coil, thaws it out, maybe cleans the filter, and leaves. The problem comes back in a week because the underlying airflow restriction was never addressed. Undersized or poorly located supply runs create hot and cold spots. Some rooms get plenty of air, others get almost nothing. Customer complains that specific rooms aren't comfortable. Your salesperson probably heard about this during their sales process, maybe even promised it would be fixed, but nobody actually redesigned the duct distribution to solve it. Now you're stuck trying to band-aid a fundamental design problem with damper adjustments or additional runs that may or may not help. High velocity ductwork creates noise too. Ducts that are too small for the required airflow generate whistling, rumbling, or rushing sounds. Customer complains that the system's too loud. Your tech can't fix this without redesigning or replacing ductwork, which wasn't in the original quote. So you either eat the cost or tell the customer they have to live with it. Either way, you get an unhappy customer and a damaged reputation. The third issue is improper equipment selection. Even if the load calc is correct, matching equipment to the specific application matters. I've seen contractors install single-stage equipment in homes that really needed variable capacity, or install heat pumps without proper supplemental heat size, or select equipment with blower motors that can't overcome the static pressure in the existing duct system. These mismatches create performance problems that look like equipment failures, but are actually selection errors. Your tech might replace components trying to fix the issue, spending your money and the customer's patience, when the real problem is that the wrong equipment was specified for the application. Okay, fourth problem, ignoring the building envelope and existing conditions. Your HVAC system doesn't operate in isolation. It's trying to overcome the heat loss and heat gain of the building, right? If you don't account for the air leakage, the poor insulation, or solar gain, your load calc is wrong and your system won't perform. I've worked with a contractor last year on a callback situation that perfectly illustrates this. The new system was installed and the homeowner complained that the upstairs bedrooms were always hot that summer. Turned out the attic had minimal insulation, poor ventilation, and the ductwork was running through a 140-degree attic space with minimal insulation on the ducts themselves. The system was sized correctly for the well-insulated house he thought it was, but this wasn't a well-insulated house. Nobody evaluated the actual conditions during the design phase. The fix required additional attic insulation and duct sealing that wasn't in the original scope. The customer wasn't happy about the proposed additional cost, so the contractor ended up eating it to preserve the relationship. All because the initial design didn't account for actual building conditions. All right, the fifth issue is zoning problems. Modern homes often need zoning to address multiple stories, additions, or areas with different load characteristics. But most contractors either don't zone at all, or they throw in some basic dampers without proper engineering. Then they wonder why they get callbacks about temperature imbalances. Proper zoning requires calculating loads by room, selecting equipment for the correct loads, and designing duct systems that can handle zone variation, selecting appropriate controls to handle those variations. If you skip any of these steps, you're setting yourself up for callbacks. Now, here's what really bothers me about all this. Every single one of these problems is completely preventable. We have the tools, the standards, and the knowledge to design systems correctly. I can manual J for load calculations, manual S for equipment selection, manual T for air distribution, and manual D for duct design. These standards exist specifically to prevent the problems I just described. But most contractors skip them because they take time, or because they don't know how to use them, or because they think customers won't pay for proper design. So they guess, they use rules of thumb. They hope experience will carry them through, and sometimes it does, but often it doesn't. Let me give you some real numbers on what this costs. Average callbacks cost you about $100 to $200 in direct costs. That's the technician's time, truck expenses, and admin overhead. But the indirect costs are much higher. That callback probably delayed other jobs, annoyed your installation crew, and damaged customer satisfaction. If you're running 3 callbacks a week, that's $15,000 to $20,000 a year in direct costs alone, plus the opportunity cost of what that technician time could have generated. Now, multiply that by the fact that poor system design typically generates multiple callbacks per job. First callback for comfort complaints, second callback when the fix didn't work, maybe a third callback when the customer demands the service manager or the owner gets involved. Each one erodes margin, damages reputation, and demoralizes your team. Compare that to the cost of proper system design. A competent estimator or design tech can run a complete manual J and manual D in maybe 2 to 3 hours, and faster with some of the new technology. At $50 an hour loaded costs, that's $150. You can bill that into your proposal as engineering or design fees, or you can absorb it knowing that prevents callbacks and supports premium pricing. Either way, it's dramatically cheaper than the callback cycle. But here's where it gets really interesting. Proper system design doesn't just prevent callbacks. It creates selling opportunities that increase your ticket average. When you properly evaluate a home, you discover undersized returns, leaking ducts, poor insulation, maybe inadequate ventilation. Each one is a legitimate problem that affects system performance, and each one is an opportunity to add value and increase revenue. The contractor I mentioned earlier who implemented full design protocols saw their callback rate drop from about 8% of jobs to under 2%. That alone saved them tens of thousands in direct costs. But they also increased their average ticket by about $6,000 because proper design uncovered issues that needed addressing. Think about it from the customer's perspective. They're spending $10, $15, maybe $20,000 on a new HVAC system. They expect it to work, not just function, but actually deliver the comfort they were promised. And when it doesn't, they feel cheated. They leave bad reviews, they tell their neighbors, they call their credit card company to dispute service charges. All because the system was never properly designed to meet their needs. And think about it from your technician's perspective. Your best techs didn't get into this business to run callbacks on jobs that were doomed from the start. They want to do good work on well-designed systems. Constant callbacks on poorly designed jobs burn them out and drive them to competitors who do things right. I can personally speak from experience here. Being promoted to service manager was almost a sentence. It was, how long could he last? I've trained thousands of contractors over the years, and the ones who've implemented proper design protocols consistently report the same results. Lower callback rates, higher customer satisfaction, better employee morale, and higher profits. It's not magic, it's engineering. Here's what implementation looks like. You need someone on your team who can run load calcs and duct designs. That might be you initially, or a senior estimator, or a dedicated design position. The software exists, it's not expensive, and a competent person can comfortably learn it in a few weeks. You need to build design into your sales process so it's not negotiable. Every quote includes proper load calcs and duct evals, no exceptions. This becomes part of your company culture and your market positioning. Then, you need to train your installation crews to follow the design. The calculations and duct layouts need to translate into actual installation specs that your crews understand and execute. Design without proper installation still fails. And you need to track results. Measure your callback rate on properly designed jobs versus jobs where you maybe cut corners in the past. The data will prove the value faster than any argument. So here's my challenge to you. Look at your callbacks from the last 3 months. How many of them trace back to design issues rather than installation or equipment problems? I'm willing to bet it's most of them. Those are preventable problems that are costing you money and reputation. Stop treating callbacks as inevitable. Stop blaming installers or equipment manufacturers. Start looking at the root cause, which is almost always inadequate system design. Fix that, and you'll fix most of your callback problems. Please click on the link in the description to watch the 15-point system design audit that shows you exactly where your process is breaking down and how to fix it.